Hello, my name is Shemi, and in this video I will show you how you can implement Web Audio API to an Angular project and also play a single synth sound as an example. I'll be naming all the stages you need to go through, and I'll try to present the method in the simplest and the quickest way that is possible. So what is Web Audio API? The definition says Web API for processing and synthesizing audio in web applications, simply meaning that with this you can program audio and synth sounds for the web. Why would we want to choose this and not just the standard HTML audio player? Well, the latter is quite limited in various aspects. If you want to play just one track or maybe two tracks in your website, that would do. But for more than that, you might encounter problems in achieving what you want. Web Audio API is a professional way to deal with audio in the web. With this, you can minimize latency, time your tracks, play multiple tracks in some synced order. You can add effects to your sound, create synth sounds as we're going to do here, and you can examine and analyze your sound also visually. So here are some stages we need to go through. If you're completely new to Angular or your computer doesn't have the tools to build an Angular project, here are some steps you need to take. First, install Visual Studio Code from this website. This is the editor with which we would write our code. After that, install Node.js from this website, because Node.js includes the npm command with which we will later install the Angular CLI with this command. After that, you should create a folder somewhere in your computer that will contain all the projects that you build. Now, assuming we have all that, we'll go to the VS Code, to the terminal at the bottom, and reach our workspace directory, which we just talked about, and write ng new and then the project name. You can write whatever name you want. I'm going to call it WAA, which stands for Web Audio API -tutorial, and you can do the same. Press enter. Would I like to add Angular routing? I'll say yes, not knowing yet how far I want to go with this project. It asks me now what kind of style sheet I want to use. I'm using SCSS, so I choose that. And now it's building the new project, and we need to wait a minute or so till it's done. Okay, so now that it's done, we'll go to File and we'll open the folder of our project. We'll just open that. Get a new terminal, and here we'll write ng serve, and this will activate the project on our browser. So while it's doing that, I want us to look at the next stage, and you can see that it's written here, install the AudioContext Module with npm with this command. But to be honest, this module has given me a bit of trouble lately. I found a different way to implement this module, and we're going to skip that. Okay, so now that it's done, we'll go to the browser, to the address localhost 4200, and you can see that our application is now running. So what I want to do first is go to the src app, the HTML page over here, and first I want just to delete all this page here. I'm going to delete it. I'll just write here a div Web Audio API, and while we're here, we'll make a button and I'll talk about this one in a moment, and we'll call it play as well. We'll save it, and if we'll go to the browser again, you can see that we have here the button, but it's not doing anything yet. So we're going to go to the TS component file over here, going to make the changes and the methods we need right here. First, I'm going to write implements on init because for some reason it's not here. Also the constructor as well, and the ng on init methods. Next, I'm going to write private CTX, which stands for audio context, will be of type audio context. And in the ng-on-init method, I'll write audio context equals window dot audio context or window dot webkit audio context. And you can see I'm having some kind of an error here, but I found a way to bypass that. I'm going to wrap the window with brackets and write inside window as any. And I need to do the same to the previous one as well. The next line would be this CTX equals new audio context. Now these two lines have just implemented the audio context to our Angular project, but it's not doing anything yet. So we're going to write a function which will be activated when we press the button. So what we'll write here is let OSC, which stands for oscillator, equals this ctx.create oscillator. Next line would be to handle what happens when the sound ends. So we'll write osc.onEnded equals method osc.disconnect. Next we want to to connect with this ctx.destination. This is the command. And now we'll write osc.start to start the sound, and next line would be to stop, because we want the sound to stop somewhere in the future at this ctx.current time, which is now plus a second and a half, for example. Now all this function over here, this play function, is already written very similarly to the one in the Angular AudioContext Module page. I will leave the link for you at the bottom of the video. I wrote a very similar method to the one in here because I wanted you to have another place where you can have reference to this code and you can also read about it. So now if we save that and we go to the browser and to our project and press the button, there you go. So we have a one single synth sound for a second and a half. It was an A note, and we could change the frequency if we want of that sound. If we change the value of it, it was 440, and we'll change it to 523.3, which is a C note. And if we save that, it will be a bit higher note now. Yeah. Sorry for that, but there you go. So it was just an example of implementing the module and making a single sound. Of course, you can develop it much more. I hope it helped you. If you like the video, feel free to press like, and if there will be a demand, I will go on with this tutorial and show more very interesting things that we can do with Web Audio API. Thank you and goodbye.